Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to be here today to share the stage with some extraordinary public servants and, quite candidly, to learn a bit from all of you as we gather today to discuss the opioid epidemic our country is currently facing, as well as the broader issues around substance abuse and mental health that come with that conversation. Patrick was extraordinarily gracious in his introduction, and I have to say, from now being down in Washington for 2.5 years, Patrick, they miss you, and it happens, comes up all the time. I am almost once a day, if not once a week, I'm referred to as the gentleman from Rhode Island. There's some individual stories that I'll share with some of you off the record later, but nevertheless, it does happen very frequently that I have to correct people and say, actually, no, that's my cousin Patrick, and I'm actually Joe, and we've worked together now for 3 years, and you still don't know my name. However, from time to time, you'll be in these instances where, and I'm sure you've all sat through rooms like this, where you get somebody, a colleague that is forced on short notice to introduce you, and they go on these very long and effusive introductions where they cite instance after instance of where my cousin Patrick has been so effective and such a loyal friend. And when they turn around and say, ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Kennedy, I of course stand and say, thank you very much, and take credit for every single good act that you did, my friend. So thank you for that, for your generosity. Folks, as I said, am honored to be here today and to learn from you and to discuss with all of you and two of the leading experts we have in our country, our government's response to the opioid epidemic. Here in Massachusetts, this epidemic has taken an extraordinarily painful toll. Last year alone, there were over 1,000 deaths from prescription drug overdoses in our Commonwealth. Opioid-related deaths in our state rose by 50% between 2012 and 2013. Across the country, the death rate from prescription opioids was more than quadrupled between 1999 and 2010. Of course, none of this is news to any of you. You've been on the front lines of our efforts to tackle, and not just the opiate epidemic, but our country's larger addiction and mental health challenges. And thanks to many of you, there is real nationwide consensus that this problem is not something that we can arrest our way out of. We're seeing strong recognition that the only way to combat addiction is to treat it like an illness that it is. Here in Massachusetts, innovative approaches like the Gloucester Police Department's Angel program are forcing us all to rethink public policy for addressing substance abuse. So with that in mind, and given the focus of the Kennedy Forum, what I'd like to highlight in this discussion is really two things: the federal response to the opioid epidemic and how it intersects with the work that many of you are doing day in and day out in our communities across the country. And two, the absolutely essential role of our mental health system in combating opioid and other substance abuse, and the challenges that come with it. I am honored today to be here with the two people that are leading these efforts at the federal level. Director Michael Botticelli from the National Office of Drug Control Policy, and Director Nora Volkow from the National Institute on Drug Abuse. We are incredibly honored that they would be willing to take some